Well, no rain in the forecast today, which goes along with the dry winter we've been having. In fact, February set a few worrying records. Last month was the top 2 warmest, top 3 driest, and top 5 least snowy months on record. Now, across Iowa, the average rainfall was only about 0.2 of an inch in February. That's nearly an inch below normal. So while we did have a snowy January, last month wiped out most of those benefits. Joining us now to help break down this impact is the Iowa DNR's Hydrology Resource Coordinator, Tim Hall. Tim, thank you for joining us. Why don't we start with drought conditions? I mean, what do things look like, especially over here on the eastern part of the state?
Sure, good question. In the eastern part of the state, as you said, February was exceptionally dry across the entire state, including eastern Iowa. Right now, we're tracking behind for rain for the year. It's pretty dry. Stream flows are okay, but not great. So overall, as we move from winter into spring, as we move from a dry season to a wet season, we're really looking out for some rain. We need some rain anywhere in the state, including your part of the state.
I mean, over the past year, Iowa is about 8.5 inches below normal in rainfall. There has been 200 consecutive weeks of dry or drought conditions. I mean, Tim, are we approaching or are we in a crisis here?
I would say not in a crisis. There are certainly locations in the state of Iowa that are having more trouble with water supply issues than others. But overall, even though we're now through 3 years of really dry weather and moving into what could be a 4th year of drought or even a 5th year of drought, overall, there's no crisis in the state, but there are some municipalities, some water supplies that have already implemented conservation measures, which is really unusual for winter time. So there are some communities that struggled last year that didn't get the moisture over the winter that they wanted. And I think it's going to be even harder for those communities to work through the drought this year if it continues. So overall, not a crisis in the state to speak of, but you know, if you're a landowner or a farmer and you don't have water in your well, that's a crisis. And that's occurred last year, and I think it could occur this year if we don't start seeing some uptick in rainfall.
Yeah, let's talk about that. If you're a farmer or a landowner and you're seeing these dry conditions year after year, I mean, how does this all compound on itself, make itself even worse year to year?
Well, it's really hard when you're in the business of agriculture and you need moisture and you need soil moisture to grow your crops. It's hard enough to have a year of drought and then to start the next year dry, and then to start the next year dry, and now we're starting the next year dry. It just makes it harder to get the crops established. We had some timely rains last year, which helped. There's been tremendous advancements in hybrids, which helps. But since there's not a lot of irrigated row crop in the state, farmers rely on rainfall, and they make the best choices they can before the season starts, and we just hope for timely rain. It's going to be hard because the soil profile dries out, especially if you think about the weather we're having right now. Warm weather, sunny weather, dry weather, windy weather, those things all work to continue to dry the soil out. So right now it's pretty dry out there, as we all know, and we're just really, really looking for a normal spring if we can get one.
So true. Tim, thank you so much for your time today and for your wisdom.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on.
For you guys at home, the Drought Monitor is released every Thursday. To check out the latest report and conditions, you can head over to our website and click on the As Seen on TV tab.